Okay, so welcome to session 2 of Starfinder. Last we left off, all of you have been arrested and taken down to the police station for questioning.
Can I retcon one quick thing, please?
What's that? What do you want to retcon?
As just as the cops saw us and we rounded the corner and were stopped by the police, Geary raised up all his hands and he looked up to Fang and said, "Don't say my name again, please."
Fair. So we'll see what Fang does and when it's time. So you've all been taken in. You're all weaponless, and you find yourselves sitting in a white room, an interrogation room. You're all separate from one another. There's a window on one side. It's what you would know as a see-through window. There's a camera in the corner and one big steel door and a table in the middle with a chair on each side. It's well lit, and I don't know where I was going with that. And you're all, like I said, you're all in separate rooms. Now, the way we're going to do this interrogation, or questioning, I should say, is one at a time. I'm not going to just drag one person through 20 minutes worth of questioning and then move to the next. So we're going to bounce around a little bit, and you just kind of have to imagine this is a string of events. You've been in this room for 2, 3, 4 hours. You're not really sure, just waiting to figure out what's going to happen next. And individually, of course, a man walks in. And this, he introduces himself. He's wearing an Absalom police station uniform, whatever you think that might look like, just a standard uniform. Says, I'm Detective Brannigan.
Can I call you Zap?
First name Zap. But to be fair, I can't do a Zap Brannigan impression. I certainly cannot think on my feet like Zap Brannigan can. But that's his name. And we're going to start this line of questioning. He walks into, let's say, he's going to go see Aurora first, or at least questioning here. And he walks in, he sits down, and says, "I'm Detective Brannigan. What is your name?"
Aurora.
Aurora. He's got a file in front of him, and he says, "And how do you pronounce this last name?"
I don't think anyone's ever asked for my last name.
It starts with an H. What is this? It's Castrovillian. I don't know. I don't know if I speak it.
I don't think I ever decided a last name for my character.
I'm throwing it in front of you right now. You have to pick right now.
Hibiscus.
Hibiscus. Aurora. Hibiscus. Hibiscus.
Hibiscus. It's a type of flower.
Hibiscus. Okay. What would you want to tell me what you were doing in the club?
I ran into a friend of mine, Daria. We finished our shifts, doing our work for the day. I'm a pilot. She's a mechanic, and we headed over to the bar after work to just blow off the rest of the evening. And
I see. He says, "You want to tell me what happened there in the club?"
There was a group of guys kind of in the sectional seating area. There was a couple other people by the back door. There was a robot over at the bar.
Any idea why? What happened? Obviously, this was a shooting. What triggered it?
Well, someone shot in through one of the front windows.
Really?
Which was pretty impressive, I think, because those are narrow windows, and they're high up on the wall.
Interesting.
So I don't know where it came from, but it hit one of the patrons.
Do you know who it hit?
I don't know him personally. He's a Skittermander. Skittermander. It hit him in the arm.
Hit the Skittermander.
Yep. I'm trained as a medic, so I walked over to him and asked if I could, help because I was trained, and he said yeah, and the next moment we turn around and there's these 4 or 5 other guys, and they're there, and they were all dressed similar, like they were part of a group, but they had nothing official. Like, you at the police force, you're recognized, you're badged, we know it's you, we know who you're with. They didn't have that. And then they seemed to be going after him for some reason. I'm really not sure. We got drawn into it and decided to defend ourselves and try to help the person that they were attacking. Thankfully, for not too long, you guys showed up and now we're here.
Very forthcoming. Let's jump over to Diara.
Okay.
So he walks in, he sits down. Of course, he's got a file. He says, Diara. So what's this last name here?
Coyote.
Casey, why are you arming a weapon?
Sorry.
Yeah,
I know that
perfect.
sound was like, whoa, things are getting real on that end.
No, I wasn't arming. I put optics and
I
a
know I'm.
stabilizer on it, and I wanted to make sure I had enough room on my pull handle. Sorry.
Sound like
No, you're
confused.
fine. I was just giving you shit because I heard the typical rack motion. I was like, whoa!
Detective Brannigan walks in there and snaps a gun together and sets it on the table. He says,
I thought I hit mute. I apologize.
You're
Fix that
fine.
up.
I'm just giving you shit. It's funny.
he was saying, Diara, what's the last name here? Can you pronounce this for me?
Coyote.
Aeote. Says, what were you doing in the club?
Oh, me and my friend Aurora, we were just blowing off some steam, having some drinks, trying our best to mind our own business until things got a little crazy.
Did you know anyone involved?
No.
It's okay. One of the assailants was killed. Do you know anything about that?
No clue.
Not a clue. He jumps over to. Let's go to Geary next. So Detective Brannigan walks in.
He walks in to see the Skittermander with like all 6 hands on the desk, like all 6 arms on the desk, with fingers interlocked together, twiddling his thumbs, and just a big, like, happy, toothy grin on his face.
And also, you have a bandaged arm. If it wasn't clear, you guys have gotten aid, and whatever health you lost, you can re-add to yourself because you've been fixed up.
Sweet. Thank you.
So, yeah, well, it's a police department. They're not going to let you bleed out in the station. So he walks in, and he sits down at the table across from you. He's kind of looking you over. He says, how did you get into Absalom Station?
Oh, I was brought in on a ship with some friends.
Some friends, you say? You know,
Yeah, some friends, they needed some help moving some stuff, and they asked me, hey, can you carry this box for us? And it just had like a whole bunch of stuff. Like I think they were moving away from their house. I live on a dirt chunk. You know it's best 3. Anyway, they just wanted me to jump on a ship, and they were like, just come move some stuff into our house, and we'll help you, and we'll give you some lunch. And so I helped them move in, and then and that was done, and then I've just been here ever since because I don't know how to take the plane home.
it's a very strange accent you have. Is that Corvellian?
It's Skittermander.
Skittermander. So I haven't met very many Skittermanders here in Absalom Station.
Sorry, it's a very common accent. Our tongues are a little bit too big for our mouths, and sometimes it gets in the way of our teeth.
What's your name?
Smushy.
Smushy.
Hmm.
You have a last
I
name
should
there,
call my
Smushy?
friend.
Smushy Barra.
Bluff check. What do you got? Shit.
Hold on, I get to roll a d6 too. I don't even know what that was.
13.
13
Throw it away
plus
upstairs.
1d6. Oh, 1d6. Roll. So 14.
All right. Smushy Barra. So in your case, he gets up and walks out of the room at this point. You're left alone.
All right.
We cut to K2. He walks in. He says, You're a strange-looking android. What gives?
Hey, I would say you're insulting my mother, but we already had around to this just earlier the day.
He looks at you confused, like he didn't understand the joke.
Hang on a quick second. Let me grab a super fast thing. Sorry, grabbing snacks. So he would have my case file, right?
Yeah, he's got a file on you.
Okay. So the other thing that was mentioned regarding buddy, I didn't know if you were hearing or not. The way I'm playing it is, since there wasn't a defined backstory, that literally my guy just got out of talking to you guys from some previous offense that he had done, being told to, hey, be good, lay low, quit doing your merc BS. And then I went straight to the bar. So I have been out of like jail or custody for like an hour.
Okay. So yeah, so you were in here just a little while ago then.
Yeah, I got caught up in some job gone wrong as a merc. I was cleared of it, but they basically told me to, hey, knock it off, follow the law, and ship up, or you're going back in prison.
Because the beat cops didn't spend a lot of time with you. Just
Yeah.
Sent you back out there.
Yeah.
Do you want to elaborate a little bit on what happened in that club back there?
I swear it wasn't me. I know you guys are going to pin it on me, but it wasn't me. I swear to God. And he's going to pound on the table and be like, oh, whoops.
So, that aside, do you know what happened in the club?
All I know is I went in to get a drink and just cool off after you guys roughed me up last time. And I wasn't there even long at all. And next thing I know, there's this weird dude that just kind of was there and making all kinds of shifty movements and weird stuff. So I went to go ask him if he's okay. And next thing I know, bam, he's getting shot. And all of a sudden, these other guys are coming in just like, get him, get him. So I went to help him because I figured I'm probably going to get shot next. And so I tried to defend myself and the guy because who knows who the hell he is. And then next thing you know, by the time we could skitter out of there, you guys showed up and beat my face in again. I threw the gun on the ground. That officer needs to get reprimanded.
Which one of you is making memes? Oh my god, dude, that's funny.
It's perfect.
All right. He says, he's gonna get up and he's gonna say, just sit tight. We'll be back in a minute. And he walks out of the room again. I'm gonna jump over to Fang now. Casey, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. So he walks in the room, sits down in front of you. He sets the file down on the table, doesn't even open it. He's got a little manila folder, just sets it down. He says, you're a member of Hell Squad.
He grunts.
What are you doing on Absalom Station?
Relaxing.
Yeah. Leave?
Just time before I go away.
How long you been a member in the Marines?
Just got done with training, so about 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
I respect that. Wanted to be a Marine myself. Issues with cartilage in the knee, any kind of motions to his knee there. Says, you want to tell me what happened back there in the club?
I went in there, and I was just trying to get a drink. Moved to the comfortable couch. A bullet came through. Some guys came in, started popping off shots. So I do what I do.
And you have our thanks. It's we found you back in the alley with Skittermander and some other club goers back there. It seems like you were clearing out the innocents, so to speak.
Well, the little guy that I had with me, he was the one shot. I don't know if it was a ricochet bullet or a stray bullet or not, but he was shot. Then these other guys came in. So I grabbed him, took one of them down, and ran out the back, tried to get everybody else to follow, but they stayed.
That was part of our line of questioning. You actually took one of them down.
Yeah.
Do you, who's your commanding officer?
That's classified.
Classified. I just wanted to know who I needed to send this commendation to. He pulls out a letter, and it's written actually by the Absalom chief of police, and he slides it across the table for you to read. And it actually does it is a commendation for you saving civilians at the club.
You can just send it to the. Oh, I forgot what they are.
The stewards.
Yeah, thank you. You can just send it to the stewards. I'm pretty
All
sure
right,
you know where their main office is.
We'll get a hold of Steward High Command on that one. Let's jump back over to Diara. He said, so continuing your line of questioning, he says, how long have you been a mechanic?
I've been learning to trade most of my life.
You what's your place of employment called?
At the moment, I'm between jobs. We just ended a job with some humans, and that wasn't the best.
You interested in future work?
Hmm.
Something that could take you off station potentially?
Aurora and I tend to choose to take jobs together. It's safer that way.
I understand. Let's jump over to Aurora. He says, continuing in your line of questioning, do you know anyone that was involved in this shooting?
The only person I knew beforehand was my friend.
Of course, right. Anyone else? Like you said,
No.
you had seen the Skittermander. You didn't know it. Did you have any relation to the vest or the robot that we found there?
If I do, I'm not aware of it.
I'd say relation. I meant like I don't know, friendship, I guess. That's okay. So
I mean, if they've done work around the station, I passed so many people being a pilot going to and from that it's possible we've been in the station before at the same time, but I wouldn't know it.
we do have that here in the record that you are a pilot.
Mhm.
What do you fly?
Usually people hire me to fly their own ships.
Any experience on freighters?
Not as much, but I can.
Shouldn't be too much of a freighter. I'm looking for somebody to do some freelance work. Something you might be interested in?
Freelance work for the station?
Yes, actually. I can go into more details later. I'm still trying to work out what I'm going to do about this here, but I'm looking for a pilot. It seems a little unorthodox, I understand, but we're in hard times right now.
Would have thought that you guys had your own pilots that you've vetted and you have on your own staff.
Not for deliveries. We're actually, since you're pressing, we're actually been trying to hire someone to deliver a load of supplies, but it's been hard getting a company that can do this within the next few months. You're a freelance pilot. You're here. We don't have any reason to believe that you're involved in this shooting, but while you're here, figure we make the request.
Well, I guess if you give me more details about it, and I'll see if it's something we want to do. I do a lot of work with my friend Dyer, and then she usually tags along as the mechanic, and she's great. Certainly, if you want me as a pilot, you'll want her.
Let's cut over to K2 reminds me of this guy. It's funny. We'll jump back over to K2. So he left the room last you talked to him, right?
Uh-huh.
So he's coming. He comes back in. He sits down at the table and he says, "I know you spoke with our some deputies, some police earlier today. They must not have run your record correctly because we have a warrant out for your arrest."
What this time?
He picks up the paper and he looks over it and he's like a weird, like a befuddled look on his face. He says, "This can't be right. Hold 1 minute," and he gets up and leaves the room. And then jump back over to Geary. He walks back into your room after some time. And he sits down and he says, "Smushy."
Yes.
All right, try not to laugh. It's so well done.
Oh. He says, "Smushy,
Yes, sir.
There's no
Anything
record
I
of
can-
you in our system here.
Oh,
As far as we can tell, you're on Absalom Station illegally.
oh dear. I don't mean to be here against any rules or anything. I just wanted to help somebody. I didn't know I had to check in with anybody or file any papers.
Yeah, you do. You're an undocumented alien here.
Oh
And
no.
we have, within our legal rights, we could hold you for this. And you're looking at potentially deportation from Absalom Station. Now,
See, he relaxes just a little when you say deportation. He goes, "Oh,
Well, where would you send me? Like back to my home planet?
well, you'd be tied up in the court system for quite a while. You'd spend some time in jail here. I don't know if that's ideal for you. I have one other question about this incident at the club here. It'd be very helpful if you could answer. Do you know who shot you?
No, sir. No, it's just a shot that came from the window.
Came from the window.
Yeah.
You're certain that it came from the window?
Yes, sir. Well, I guess not completely certain. I would just know that the window was broken at the same time that I was shot. Yeah, I guess it could be coincidence.
Smushy, we have. I think we can do something about this whole situation about you being here on station illegally. We are looking to put together a bit of a crew, and we could use your help with that. It's a paid position. It would get you off station, which would be great for me. It would help us out a lot. Is that
I
something
would love to
you'd
help.
be? Yeah, I know you would, and I think this is something that could really help you out. If you're interested in that, I think we can talk about it further.
Absolutely. Anything I can do to help you gentlemen, I would just be honored to help the great police of Absalom Station.
So let's jump back over to Fang. So continuing with your line of questioning here, he showed you the commendation letter, and he's going to forward that over to the stewards to get that into your personal record. And he says, on a personal note, I have to ask, as you're a Vest, how do you feel about the Pact World's treaty for the Veskarium?
He just keeps quiet.
Not a man of many words, I see. Well, I understand that you're on leave right now, sabbatical. If you'd like to make a few extra bucks in your off time, we have a job you might be interested in. If not, I fully understand we don't intend to hold you here. You are absolutely free to go.
How much extra?
Well, we're looking at about $2,500 for a simple delivery out to Nicoma's colony. Credits, not dollars.
How many people?
It'll be 5. We're looking to get a crew of 5 put together.
He's not going to answer you right now.
Fair. He says, okay, go ahead.
How's the little guy that was shot? Where's he at?
He's recovering in another room.
Is he okay?
He'll be all right. Did you know him?
No, I'm just making sure he'll live.
Jump
Small
over to-
bodies, big wounds.
Let's jump back over to K2 real quick. He comes back in after a bit, sits down back at the table again, and he says, so it is correct. We do have your warrant on file here for your arrest. The charge is fancy bike riding in public spaces.
Oh, come on. They said that wasn't going to get charged.
Listen, I don't understand it myself, but law is law. Okay. Now,
You crooked cops.
we might be able to work something out if you're interested. I know you have mercenary work that you do. This is all on the up and up.
Now,
We got Jeremy on that one.
we got to make sure we have room for K2SO's BMX bike on the.
We've got a job of sorts if you're interested in some work, is what I'm trying to say.
is it going to expunge my record?
Yes, we can make that happen for this.
Now, wait. Another question. Is this a you need me because what I'm going to do is going to be expunged later and you're not being held liable for it? Or is this a we need you to do it because you're cheap free labor?
You'll be paid. This is a paid position. But if you take it on, we know you don't have to. This is a delivery job. They might be able to use some muscle here. You know how it is when you're traveling out among the pack worlds. We want to make sure that you guys stay safe on the ship. Our cargo is protected.
All right, then I gotta ask, what are you gonna supply me with? Because you guys seem to have, taken my weapons after punching my face in, running from, people shooting at us.
Well, we have no interest in keeping your personal possessions, so of course we're going to give those back. But the details of the job we can discuss if you're interested. Bring you to a room with everybody else who was interested, and we'll discuss it.
How long you think it's gonna take?
It's a simple delivery mission. Shouldn't take too long. You have something to get back to?
No, but I've heard that excuse before. And I have some tombstones to visit because of it. All right, fine. As long as my record's clean and I'm getting paid.
All right. So Brandon goes to each one of your rooms individually, and all of you expressed interest in potentially joining this mission. He's not going to give you a whole lot of information without you being at least very, interested in it. So he's going to pull all of you back into a conference room. And this is just your standard police conference room. There's like student-style desks in here, like a computer board in the back where, he can do his briefings, that sort of thing. He guides you into the room. What do you guys do?
K2SO is just going to kind of go to one of the side desks, like tested to make sure his heavy ass isn't going to break it, and then just kind of slowly try and slide into it and sit.
Anybody else do something?
Fang's gonna hang out towards the back and stand at attention like he would if he was in formation, but keep his eye on the Skidamander if the Skidamander's there.
Yep, he's there.
Geary looks at everybody else in the room, and you see he gets kind of like an uneasy look on his face. Not necessarily like he's nervous or scared, but just like, he feels a little conflicted, and he shuts his mouth real tight and just hops up in a chair. So.
And the ladies? I suppose they just come into the room?
I'm gonna walk in, stand to one side, and kind of raise my hand figure over, motion towards Dara, and kind of motion like, "Hey, come here, come stand over here."
I go over.
But
to
I'm
her.
gonna take note that this is everyone who was just there, and kind of be like, "All right, why do they have all of us together if we've all just been in this situation?"
There's nothing sinister, I assure you.
Well, that's what they all say.
Yeah. So you're all in there, right? Brandon gets up at the front. He says, I brought all of you together because you seem to fit exactly what we're looking for. We have a pilot and a mechanic because the ship that we have, which we're going to let you use, is it's a bit dated, to be honest. And a mechanic wouldn't be a bad idea to have on board. The last thing we need is this shipment to get lost out in space. Pilot and mechanic fits the bill. Mercenary for protection. Well, we offered the Vesk Marine back here just a chance to double up on that protection. And of course, we have a Skidamander for all the heavy lifting any needs to be done. So the job that we have here is we have a contractor, Madeline Kessie. She's a Lashunta priest of Abadar, located on Nokomis colony, and she needs this delivery of supplies. And the supplies aren't anything you guys would be interested in. It doesn't really have a lot of value to anyone outside of Nokomis colony. The colonists need this stuff. It's your standard meals ready to eat and that sort of thing. We got to get this stuff delivered out there. And like I was saying earlier, we have had a hard time contracting any delivery companies in the area. They are months out before they can get to this, and we need it done. That's where you all come in. The job pays 2,500 credits upon delivery to Madeline's Landing on Nokomis colony.
Geary looks around at everybody and just like nods enthusiastically, and you see 6 thumbs up, and he doesn't want to speak.
He's in. So you guys all know, except for Casey, actually, there's an android named Sedona, and she is played by Meryl Streep, and all of you know her. She was a prominent figure on Absalom. She taught at the university there, and she's actually hired Aurora from time to time. She's met Diara when, I assume you attended college at some point, so she may have met you there. She's definitely had dealings with K2 during riskier scientific expeditions. You've protected her from more like local fauna more than enemies. And she's met Geary at several different campaigning events. She's affluent and interested in politics. So you all know her, except for Fang. And she is on Nokoma's colony. So this is a chance for each one of you individually to meet up with an old friend, even though none of you know that the other knows her.
Sweet.
So who's in?
Yeah.
I'll raise my hand and be like, so because no one seems to give a shit, how is it that there truly no one else available for this, and yet you need, and he looks around at everyone, additional muscle for something like this?
You've spent time traveling out in the Pact Worlds, haven't you?
Yeah, good point.
There's a lot of pirates out there. Like I said, this is a shipment of supplies these people need to live. We can't take a chance on someone else stealing this. Also, it's very important that you accept this mission for the game to progress.
What are we talking? Return to the ship timeline. How
You're
fast
done.
we need to get there? How fast we need to get back?
Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. The ship that we've got here is it's just a tier 1 ship. It's nothing special. It's been in police impound for quite some time. No one seems to want to bid on it. But you guys are welcome to use it. However long it takes, it should be just a quick trip to the drift. Take care of what you need to take care of, and bring it back when you're finished.
All right, I gotta ask because the mechanic hasn't said anything yet. You guys fixed the thing, right? We're not about to be shot out of a cannon, right?
As far as I know, it's in working condition.
He looks around. All right, well, I guess it's on you. And he points at the mechanic.
What about spare parts?
We'll provide you what you need. You're more than welcome to spend a day looking at the ship as we get it loaded with the supplies. She's out back. I can introduce you right now if you're interested.
Sure.
Oh, KTO. So I was gonna look at everyone going, well, as long as you don't mind me, fine by me.
Aurora, how do you feel about us taking this mission?
I'm gonna speak telepathically to you.
Yeah. Okay. I'm listening.
What do you think about us trying to get this ship? What do you think about we ask him to sweeten the deal for us to join on this mission, that we keep the ship afterwards? You and I can have our own ship to do jobs.
I speak back telepathically. We have to discuss this plan more later, but I'm on board. And I speak out. I agree. We'll go too.
You'll go too. Fantastic.
I'll
It
nod.
looks like we have a crew. He goes, all right, the ship is out back. It's called the Hurtling Oceanus. So lead you guys out down the hallway.
While we're leaving, Fang looks at the guy that offered the mission. He's like, "They're not very bright, are you? You got a skidamander for heavy lifting?"
We take what we can get. But
And he just grins, and you see these really sharp, awesome, pointy teeth.
You see, Geary looks up at Thing, and he opens his mouth to say something, but then he just he stutters a little bit and just shuts it and glares at him.
And Fang smiles at Gary.
Smiles like he's gonna eat him.
Hey, we got trip snacks.
And he makes this sound like sucking your teeth like after you ate something.
I wish I could speak telepathically.
So he leads you guys through the police station, out the back, and you walk past a number of ships in the impound lot that they have back there. And in the distance, you see a ship, and right on the side of the ship, in big letters, it says, "Hurt Anus," which once said "Hurtling Oceanus," and the letters have since fallen away. And he takes you out to the Hurt Anus, takes you up the stairs and into the ship, and everything's off. It's quiet. He says, "Here she is. Like I said, you're more than welcome to explore. Make sure you have what you need here. She has a crew complement of 6, so she'll definitely make you all comfortable." What do you do? What do you do from here?
Yeah, Gary waits for the officer to step off the ship.
Fang
He'll step off for a moment just to give you guys some time. He's got to take a phone call.
Fang looks at the mechanic.
Listen, I don't know about you, but I think it's a good idea that we get off this space station as quickly as possible. I want to put as much distance between me and Absalon Station as I can.
He'll be shh. He'll reach over and hit the button to close the door. Oops, sorry, Captain. Click.
Diara immediately starts searching compartments, ensuring that the ship is at least in working order.
And Fang looks at Diara because you're the mechanic, right?
Yes.
Can you go fix the name? I refuse to ride.
No.
Saying that.
Engines. Someone else can do body work.
Fine, I'll get it if you don't mind, because I ain't going out of here with that written on.
Thank you.
How do you
Listen, I've seen this type of ship in the drift multiple times. From above, I mean not from above, from below, we look surprisingly bird-shaped, and it's pure black against the darkness of space. How about we call it the Blackbird?
Anyone have complaints?
I don't care what we call the ship, as long as it's not Hurt Anus.
All right. Do I have to do like a perception check to see if there's like paint or anything around?
No, you can get to that though. As the door opens back up, and Detective Brannigan walks back aboard and says, "Will she suffice?"
As long as I can repaint the name.
Oh yeah, you can do whatever you like. You have, at least a day before you need to get moving on this. We have to load the supplies. And he says, "There is one thing. I need to know who is the captain, so I can transfer that information onto this data pad and program the ship to respond to you."
I just did theme knowledge so I can look over the ship and the controls and see what's what. What can you tell me about this ship that we don't already know? Is it really a POS or is it drivable?
It's a standard tier 1 spaceship. It's absolutely drivable. There's really nothing wrong with it. It just sat in police impound for a long time because nobody wants to buy a ship called the Hurt Anus.
Gary is gonna step up and say, he's gonna go, and he's gonna look at the cop and just get really serious and say, "I have a very intricate knowledge of different way stations and the governing systems of various planets around us. I think it would be best if I served as captain."
You're saying this to the detective?
Yeah.
He's like, what happened to your accent?
He leans up in his ear.
Yeah, they might not respect the captain if I talk like this. Sometimes I just swallow the phlegm.
That's disgusting. And he says to everybody else, he's like, "Are you all okay with this?"
Last time I was...
KTO's just going to look and be like, "I don't give a shit." He's going to sit down.
Fang looks at him. Says, I have 2 questions, sir. My gear, and as long as everybody's okay with me being a gunner, because that's what I do, I'm good.
We'll have everything delivered to the ship. As far as everyone else, I can't speak for them.
Okay, so we'll just do a thumbs up.
Ara's just gonna nod.
And
All right.
I'll just say, if you know what you know it well. We're on board.
Fair enough.
Big
So he
dude.
does a little bit of typing on this keypad here, types in the name Smushy, and transfers this data onto something with a little stick and puts it in. He's like, "This is your key." Puts it in, and the ship fires up to life. And it says, "We'll have all your gear and everything that we confiscated delivered directly onto the ship. We'll go ahead and start loading up the supplies that we needed to have delivered. You should be ready to go within 24 hours."
All right.
Now, if you need to come and go, of course, you'll have to walk through the police station. We'll put you on the visitor ID visitor log, so you can come and go as you please. Take care of whatever business you take care of, and report back when the job's done.
I would like to go raid the armory since we have free roam.
Not that kind of free roam. Come on, man.
Geary would like to turn to the rest of the crew and be like, look, I understand that most of you, none of you know me, but there's a difference between being captain on paper and captain in practice. If you'll trust me, I promise to do my best to keep this ship, in the sky and all of you alive. There's a saying that is crucial with those of my belief. And he slips, the 3 hands on one side of his body into his pockets, and he says, we like to show our vulnerability by placing our hands in a non-usable position, and it is the words of the immortal prophet from in WGTM volume 46. I've got one hand in my pocket, and the other ones are holding a peace sign. Will y'all please trust me to guide you on this mission?
Let's just get this done.
You and me are gonna have a talk later.
Absolutely. Hopefully we'll have many discussions, robot friend. I've always wanted a robot friend.
Hey, whoa, I don't go that way, so just so you know.
Robosexual. All right. Anybody else got anything to add?
Fang just kind of walks off looking for the gunning station to play
Yeah,
around
find
with
it.
the controls.
Yeah, you find it, and you can see on the sheet there, I believe you have a gun and a rocket launcher.
We have a sheet for
Do
the
we have a
ship.
map?
You absolutely have a sheet.
Okay.
There's no
Map.
map to the ship, no. There's really no activities that happen on the ship that really require one. It's kind of theater of the mind.
Do we have a map where we're going?
Yeah, it's in the book.
I'm just asking because
Well, we'll get into that. You guys are going to Nokomis Colony. I don't have quite all the deets on that, but you will have it next week for sure.
Okay, so quick question because I didn't read spaceship combat just in case.
We'll get to spaceship. We're not going to do spaceship
Okay.
combat now. We'll read
Okay.
up on that this week, and we'll get into it next week.
Okay, cool.
Sweet.
But everybody is aboard the ship. Do you have anything else that you want to do here on Absalom Station before you fly off?
There's 2 things that my guy wants to do. Number 1 is that any police around us at the time? Are we all on our own in the ship?
You're in the impound lot. There's nobody really out there.
Okay. So while in the ship, what kind of knowledges am I going to have to do? I'm guessing engineering, that there's 2 things. He wants my guy is going to be looking for any kind of listening devices and or any kind of tracking devices.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. I don't know. What do you got to roll for that?
I've got engineering and computers.
Okay. You can ask the ship itself when you fire it up. But at a 25, if you're just walking around the ship and looking for these devices with a 25, you don't find anything that seems out of the ordinary.
Okay, then computers. Ooh, nat 20.
Tapping about on the computer system. You guys
Yeah.
haven't really started up the AI to the computer, but if you're looking around within the computer files, that sort of thing, running your malware checks, you're not finding anything unusual here. Maybe outdated software.
All right. I guess at that point, is there anything I can do to make things work a little bit better with the engineer or any kind of buffs I can give the ship?
Not when we're not in combat.
Okay.
Fang gets out of the gunning seat and he goes and finds Daria.
Diara?
Yeah,
Yes.
Diara. The guns are running a little slow. Can you look at them? There's about a 3-second delay.
She goes and she looks at them and
Check.
okay. How do I do that?
Scroll down on your skills. And you can make an engineering check.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. 14. She goes and she looks at them and tries to figure out if
Yep.
she can see what's wrong with them.
Yeah, with 14. Based on Casey's made up scenario here. Yeah, I'd say it takes you a minute, but you figure you need to just recalibrate the targeting systems on the ship.
I just
And-
figured since it's been sitting here, something has to be wrong.
Yeah, it's fun to roll some stuff. You know, if you rolled natural 1, you wouldn't know what the hell you were doing, but with a 14, it takes you a minute, but you sort out the recalibration of the guns pretty well. It's an older system. Like I said, it has some, maybe you need to update the software, but it's getting there. Been sitting for a little while.
Once that's getting worked on, Fang's gonna go look for Gary.
And Gary is straightening his suit jacket and getting ready to walk off the ship. He sees you coming. Vesk friend. I'm sorry,
Not
I
friend.
got your name.
My name's. He gives him his real name.
Mhm.
He's like, my name is Jessica, but you can call me Fang. You're not a Vesk, and I'm not your friend.
Sorry, a little diplomatic habit of mine. Anyways, how can I help you?
Where are you? Where are you going? Are you leaving the ship? Do you think
I
it's
am
really
leaving the
safe?
ship.
I think it's really safe for you since you got shot.
Well, we're still in police impound, and I don't intend on leaving this station. To be honest with you, I was going to try and surprise the rest of the crew, but I'm going to see if I can convince the captain to give us 500 credits down or so. I'd like to outfit myself with an extra weapon.
He looks at him. He's not in it for the money. He doesn't care. I'll go with you. You never know. And I'm assuming the impound's like outside, like in a normal impound lot.
Yeah, it's a spaceship, so I mean, it's got to fly
He
out.
points to a couple of buildings. Like the bullet that hit you from the glass can come anywhere from those buildings. Your
That's
best
true.
bet is to stay in my shadow.
Oh, that won't be hard. You're rather
Since I
tall.
tower over you. and when we get back on the ship, come find me. We need to talk.
Absolutely. With my impressively large Vesk bodyguard, I want to go knock on the captain's door.
All right, he's in his office. He waves you in.
Yes. I've got one quick request before we hit the sky. I think I may be able to win some trust of my crew if I can give them a little assurance that this mission will be fruitful for them. Maybe 500 creds on a cred stick for each of them.
He's like, he puts his hand on his first, like, oh my god, I forgot. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And he reaches into his desk drawer, tosses you a cred stick. He's like, this was for the mission. That's my apologies. Obviously, we can't take all of you, stick you on a ship, and send you into space without some sort of payment up front. That would be ridiculous.
Yes.
You press a little button to look at what's on the cred stick. 750 credits.
750 creds total.
Yep.
Yeah. There's 5 of us. This works out to about 150 creds each. Not even enough to buy a survival knife and a lunch. Can we up this a little bit? I mean, I believe 20% of the take is not too much to ask up front.
Okay, I'll tell you what. You're making some sense. Let me talk to my commanding officer, and I'll get back with you.
That sounds fantastic. Thank you.
Okay, I know where to find you. I'll let you know.
Yes. So and Geary will step out of back out of the office and straight into Fang's legs.
Walk right under his legs while he's walking.
Oh, sorry.
Anything happen on the ship? How are you? How are the girls feeling about taking on this role here?
Diara is going to be really wary about spare parts and ensuring that she does not leave. Anything that might break might be,
So you're already talking with the mechanics in the police department to try to get what you might need for the ship.
Yes.
Okay. Gonna convince them to have us a whole extra ship, in the cargo hold of the ship.
And you were also talking to Aurora here about potentially making the ship your own someday.
Yeah.
So how do you guys feel, really, maybe between each other, about Geary being the captain of this ship right off the bat?
I'll lean over and Aurora, listen. When I just whisper her and say, it won't be a problem if we just lie low. Let him run things. Will give us more time to plan.
You guys would know that these skittermanders tend to be very what's the word I'm looking for here? Helpful in a way that they're like, you want the ship, just take it. Normally, that's what a skittermander is.
Can I share a moment of skittermander lore that
Do it.
definitely Casey already know?
Sure.
So Skittermander, the home world of Skittermander, is a world called Odorchunk. And it is the third world in the Vesk system. And so it's, the most everybody else would know it as Vesk 3, because Skittermanders, being as friendly and absolutely helpful as they are, one day the Vesk landed to conquer, and they got out of their ships, guns blazing, and the Skittermanders were just like, oh, hey, yeah, cool. You can take the planet. That's fine. You want it? It's yours. Anything we can do to help. And they just handed over their planet.
They're typically very much the definition of a doormat.
Yeah. They're they still also at the same time they'll help anybody who asks. They'll do anything they can to help you in general. Geary may be a little different. They'll do anything they can to help you. But at the same time, they don't care about your rules ultimately. So they handed their planet over to the Vesk, and they quote belong to the Veskarium, but the majority of Skittermanders still live in their own little city on their home planet where they're self-governed. So
They do be that way. Casey went BRB, but as you guys are exploring the ship, if you haven't looked at the sheet yet, you'll notice that you have 3 separate cargo holds that can hold 25 tons of goods, and you have a physical science lab on the ship. As far as crew quarters, there are 3 rooms. There's captain's cabin, and then there are 2 smaller, They're the same size cabins, but they seem smaller because they're each split with 2 beds each. So that's enough room for all 5 of you.
Do we are we on a map or are we still on the homepage?
I don't have a map for it.
Okay.
Just in
He'll
your
fix
mind.
that by next week. It'll be
Yeah,
okay.
maybe. So you each have to share a room. So I'd imagine the girls are together, and then you have the Vesk and the android, and then the captain gets his own room, which is attached to the bridge.
All right.
So
Gary
Aurora's
is
gonna respond to her and just say in her mind, you know that feeling before we get into a messy job?
Yeah.
That feeling's all over this.
You have no
Mhm.
idea what you're in for. Well,
I guess
Where do-
We'll see how he does. But are we willing to step up? Something's gonna have to step up if this guy falters.
so yeah, I mean, you guys are traveling with him. I don't know how many of you exactly saw the shot that came through the window and hit him in the arm. I know that K2 and Fang would have seen it, but you guys, the girls, were sitting at the bar, so they might not know
Yeah,
that
my
shot
back
came
was
through.
to it, so I don't know. I know it came through the window. But I don't know.
Yeah. So the guys are very aware that someone must be targeting this dude. They were asking for him. So there's that going on. Something to consider.
So
What-
I have a question. Am I still anywhere near Skidamander and Vest guy since those 2 are hanging out? Are they just
think
off the ship
we're
somewhere?
back on the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah. So absolutely.
Is our stuff back on the ship?
Yeah, after a little while,
Okay.
yeah, you'll get all your stuff back on the ship. They brought it on board, just loaded it right there, right at the top of the ship's ramp, and just left it there.
Okay. So are they in their room right now since you said they're probably staying together?
I said you were probably staying with the Vest since Captain has his own suite.
Yeah. Me and you are together. Captain gets his own
Okay.
quarter.
And you could always argue that point, but that's up to you guys.
The smallest
really
dude
matter
has
for
his
my
own
guy.
room. And he gets very comfortable with that.
He sleeps in a drawer.
I'm assuming the Vesk is used to
completely
it
made
just
up.
because he's military,
Oh yeah, you're a Marine, dude. You've been hot bunking with people for years, as long as you've
Yeah.
been in.
so he doesn't care.
The Merc is just happy to have a bed at this point compared to his past travels.
I look at the robot. Bolts.
I guess I'm
I-
surprised you feel comfort.
Yeah. Do you
Only
sleep with
slightly.
Did you get sensors on there?
It's a little
Nice.
racist.
Sleep?
So
No, like I'm genuinely curious about this. Like, do they give you feeling sensors? Like, what?
Oh yeah.
There,
Yeah, no,
there's
if you-
still biological parts in me. I'm not all robot.
so
I
Fang
didn't
looks
know
at,
you were Android. So how-
Gary,
Well,
So-
I'm all black plated armor right now.
so
How'd you
Fang
start
Fang
out?
looks at K2 and he calls him Bolts. Bolts. I snore. I don't think it matters because you probably power down or something like that. But just so you know.
I'll just look at him, smirk, and say, "Lizard."
We
Bolts
might
and
get
lizard.
along.
He's just gonna put out his fist.
And I give him a little dab.
I'm gonna lean into the Vesk. I'm gonna be like, I don't know about you, but I've got some serious question about that captain, and I think I might go have a chat with him. I have a feeling you might want to hear this because it seems like you might be a little close since you carried him and dragged him out of the building.
Yeah, I got questions for him too. But I'm gonna go get my stuff first. So he goes to I imagine our stuff comes in like a crate or something, and he takes it to a table and he lays it out. And he doesn't know what is whose. He just knows what his is. So he grabs his survival knife, and before he sticks it into his sheath on his leg, he runs his finger along it, making sure that nobody fucked with it and it's still sharp. And he throws it into the sheath, and then he checks his dashko, and he throws that back on his back or whatever. And then he grabs his gun and he pops the clip out, and he makes sure he taps it. He puts it back in. You see him pull it out, point it, pull it out, point it, and then he racks it and holsters it. So he's pretty much
K2
just ready.
K2O is gonna go over, kind of fiddle with it and find his stuff. He's gonna look at it, kind of spin his pistol on his finger, and it goes flinging off his finger. Like, damn it, it's out of balance again.
And I just shake my head.
Just grab it. I put it back in my holster. And you didn't see that. Just kind of grab the rest of the stuff.
That Ara just goes and grabs all of her stuff and like off with it.
Stuffs it all under her bunk.
Yeah. Shoves it out of the way.
Just go over to the box, pick out my things. I'm gonna kind of gear up while standing by the box, and then I'm gonna go back over to K2. Like, I'm really curious about this. Like,
Yeah, Geary.
can you
yeah,
touch things? Can you feel when you touch things?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was human once.
You were human.
I don't quite remember what happened. There's this whole gap. And then he starts clinking on his head with his armor plates. And then you see this. Next thing I know, I was thrown on a ship. Someone shooting at us. I picked up a gun, and here it is.
Hmm.
It's interesting because I don't even know his backstory, so I'm fascinated. But yeah, you can get into that in the role play. So
as he sees like all of your stuff thrown out, he notices that everybody's using the azimuth laser pistol, and he mentions like y'all might want to trade up. You might want to use the tactical pistol, but it's up to y'all. He just wants to make sure we live.
If we get some credits, I'll trade up. Sure.
Yeah. This is unfortunately all I have left after the cops keep arresting me and taking my stuff. I'm a little broke.
Yeah. So yeah, Geary. Well, like he's coming out of his room and gathering up, like his couple of things, and like he holds up, whereas he was given 1 cred stick, he holds up 5, and he says, I split this onto multiple cred sticks in my room. The detective gave us a little bit of money down, just 150 each. So, and he passes one out to everybody. He's like, it's not quite enough to do anything with. I've requested that they boost it to 500 apiece. Hopefully we'll hear about that soon. I don't know if this will help anybody. And he sticks his gun in his pocket, and his knife in his other.
I'm gonna quickly snatch it out of his hand and be like, thank God, something.
Okay, I added it to my sheet. I just take it.
Yeah, how much was on it?
150.
150.
Where is that? Equipment?
I'm looking for it.
It's under equipment, and it's right under where it says carried. It says credits.
I'm going to save you some time on this and go ahead and tell you that he's going to offer you another cred stick of 500 total.
So it's the 150 plus the 500.
Yeah, so you're going to get
Okay.
250 apiece.
50 apiece.
That's the best he can do.
I don't remember what was on my character sheet left over. I know it wasn't much.
250 plus the 150. Okay.
No, 250 total.
So just another. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because he gave you 750 plus
Another-
500.
All right,
Whatever that is, Jeremy.
Okay. So that is
Yeah. So that's 250 each.
355.
I would like to immediately spend that and buy a tactical pistol.
Yeah. Do what you need to do with that money between sessions, so we don't have to dig too much into that. What do you want to do as far as you guys have the supplies loaded?
Yeah.
It's
I'm waiting
probably
for these serious conversations that are coming my way. I'm kind of scared.
So I kind of I tap K2 since he wants to talk to him, and I kind of start walking towards Gary, and I'm gonna assume Gary starts walking himself into a corner.
Yuri will see the two of you coming and nod and walk towards his chambers, his quarters.
Okay, cool.
So and he'll stand at the door and motion for y'all to go first.
So I wait for K2 because K2 said he had something.
So K2 is going to shuffle him into the room ahead of us and just kind of push him in.
Yeah, once you push him in, he stands up and he straightens his jacket again, and he's just like Skittermanders are mostly naked, so he's just wearing like, a navy blue, dark navy suit jacket. So
I'm just going to look over at Fang and just kind of like nod, and like point at the door.
And I hit the button to close the door. I assume we have buttons to close the door.
Yeah.
Okay, then without skipping a beat, I'm gonna grab my pistol out, rack it, hold it in front of my, or not pointing at it, but hold it by my side, spill it. What shit did we walk into, and who the hell is trying to kill you?
Okay, so when Fang sees you rack the pistol, he grabs your arm. We're on our ship.
I wonder what the boys are up to.
We don't need to do that. Put your pistol away. He's not going anywhere.
Good point. He'll just holster it.
You think they're doing pecking order?
Yeah.
I'm sure they are. We can ignore them.
Geary stands there. He doesn't react to K2SO's gun, but he nods towards Fang once he grabs him. He says, again, how can I help you, K2?
I'm going to get to the point. I've been shot at enough. I've been on the end of bad deals as a merc, left and right. And I know something is fucked up right now. And I know your buddy here is helping you for whatever reason, which is fine. But I need to know what I'm walking into, so whether I walk away or I help the big guy here. Why were you almost killed in front of me the other day? And why do I need to stick my neck out for you?
Yeah. He thinks, trying to measure his words for a second.
Before Gary answers. Hang on, before Gary answers,
sorry.
Fang looks at K2. Does it really matter? You're getting 2,500 creds. Isn't that what you do for a living?
Yeah.
So he got shot at. You've been in more danger than this before. They grabbed us at the police station because we handled ourselves in the bar pretty well. 25 creds. Who cares what this guy is? Let's just get this mission done and get it over with.
See, my experience is when you got a little guy like this commanding that kind of attention, usually the job's too hot to be worth it. But if the job is worth it, I'll do it. That's not a problem.
It's nothing you ain't seen before.
I know, but I'd rather not clink clink replace more plates.
I don't know about you, but they offered me accommodations to get a higher ranking when I get done with this. Pretty sure they probably gave somebody like you something.
Oh, bullshit. They just offered to clear my record at the last of res. I ain't getting shit compared to you guys.
Isn't that something that's good for a mercenary? Who cares? Like I said.
Nah, I still want to know.
Fang kind of looks at you. I don't know if you can read body expressions, but kind of like that look where it's like, don't tell everything, tell the bare minimum, because we'll talk later.
Yeah. He says, I can't. He holds up his hand and says, thank you, Fang. I really appreciate it. But K2 has a point. He has some right to know why his life may be in danger. I can't tell you much without risking your life as well. I know it sounds cliche and hacky, but that's the truth. The truth is that you saw the news reports. I used to work for the ambassador. In my position as as her campaign manager, lots of information would come across my desk that needed to make its way towards her. Sometimes I would read it to make her day a little quicker, so I could filter out unnecessary things. One day I read the wrong thing. And some people would like me to not have that information in my head. And the best way to do that is to not have brains in my head. I am doing what I can to escape the Pact Worlds. As far as anybody is concerned, this ship is commanded by the renowned Skidamander Captain Smushy Barra. The name Giri Tesura has not left Absalom Station. So if all goes well, it will be a non-issue. We can make our money and live our lives.
All right, I have one last question. Are we worried about the government? Or are we worried about powerful people? Because I need to know who I can shoot, who I can't.
Fang kind of snorts and laughs at the same time, and it's kind of scary when he laughs because it's more like a roar. He's like, "You shoot anybody that's shooting at you."
Good point, but I'd rather not get sniped like his dumbass.
Fair. He says, really the best I can say it is a little of column A, a little of column B. There's some people on both sides.
Fine. I'm game, but I'm hoping for a better deal out of you than just this clean record bullshit. And if we're going to do this, is there any way we can make you, and he's going to do these really bad air quotes, die on the planet before we leave?
Well, you don't exist on the planet. He doesn't know that. Like your information is out of the system in Absalom Station.
Oh, okay.
But that's for you to tell him because he doesn't know that.
Yeah, my he said that my current persona does not have any files on Absalom Station. So
All right.
sorry,
That's
I'm
fine.
copy and paste this and it's not working.
Your old persona doesn't have any files in Absalom Station.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So when you went to the police, whatever the equipment is, fingerprinting you guys, whatever fingers you all have, and searching their records and database, if they don't have any database that matches Giri or Smoochie, and you don't know why.
Sweet. Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Yeah. Sorry I didn't explain that better, but that's what it is.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. So yeah, I explained that to him. He was like, I'm not currently in the system. I've been erased. I am a ghost of a being.
Well, K2SO will be fine with that, and he'll just kind of nod his head, and then he'll look at Fang and be like, "You got my back. Tell me what you need."
And Fang's just cool. Fang is cool, waiting for you to leave because he's not gonna talk in front of you.
All right, then he'll just slowly leave.
So like as you're going to like walk out, Fang turns to walk out with you, but as soon as you get through the door, he shuts it again. So you're just like, what the hell?
K2S was like, "Well, I'm getting screwed again."
Damn it.
Damn it. K2.
He's just gonna wander back to his room with his head down, like, God damn, I want to get into this time.
Fang goes and pulls a chair up, and he sits down, and he's just staring at you. And under his breath, he's muttering, "Can't believe this. A Vesk having to protect this thing. Skidamanders, God, they're my nightmare." And then he looks. He's like, "Look, I know who you are. I'm sitting here," and he shows you his hand. And on his hand, there's a tattoo that's like part of the squad that he's in, Hell Squad. It's a Vesk skull, and it has a Dashko, 2 Dashkos crossed, kind of like the pirate skull, if that makes sense. He's like, "They sent me to protect you. Whatever you know and whatever information you have, they find it valuable. Stick by my side and you'll live. That's all we need. This other crew, don't let them know who you are. Too many people know, you'll be dead and there's nothing I can do. Do you understand?"
I understand that you're the best fit to keep me alive, yes. But don't mistake it, reptile. I'm no more comfortable with you than you are with me. I don't want your people on my planet any more than you want to be taking orders from a 3-foot tall, fuzzy Furby.
You mean from a hairball?
Whatever you call me.
From things that dangle from furry animals' butts? I'm just playing, Jeremy. I was just being mean to you. I didn't say that.
Yeah, he kind of chuckles. Did you just call me a dingleberry?
I did.
But he just, he gets even more red faced and just bursts out laughing. All right, I may come to like you yet.
Look,
But in the meantime, the captain needs his rest, and he motions towards the door.
Yep, and as he's walking, he stops. He's like, "You can have your rest, but seriously, keep some information to yourself. We don't know these people. You don't know them. I don't know them. And I'd hate to have to drive a knife through their skulls just because you opened your mouth." And he walks out.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. So and Geary is just gonna turn around and take off his jacket and fold it and crawl into bed.
And as he's walking out, he walks by. He's
Turn
like,
off the light.
Their voice command.
All right. All right. So, where do we go from here? I love it. Where do we go from here? So you go to bed. Assuming the rest of you take care of your night or whatever it is, and you're gonna sleep on the ship. And if you do so, it is loaded. The next morning, everything's ready to go. You guys can take off anytime.
I wanted to get an upgrade for my pistol, but I'm still too poor to get anything.
But you can do what you need to do between sessions if you want to upgrade and stuff like that. We don't need to go shopping right now, but whatever you're looking for, you're going to find it here on Absalom Station.
Did you say you needed more money?
I only had 320 credits.
Well, how much is your upgrade?
I was trying to find that tactical one you're talking about.
Yeah, it's called the semi-auto tactical pistol. Sorry.
It's 260.
Is it? Why am I not seeing it?
I just programmed it into my thing if you want to use it as a template.
Sure, I'm not seeing it on that website. How much was it?
260. So so now I've got my 2 guns and I'm pretty happy.
Yeah. If you could.
And you settled on a name for the ship, the Blackbird? Is that it?
I like the Blackbird. If anybody else has a good idea.
I think that's already on the side of it, thanks to K2.
K2 went out to find paint to paint the side of the ship, and all he found was black paint, and it is a black ship. So it says Blackbird, but it's not very readable.
As long as he doesn't say hurt anus, I'm good.
It's like
You could get
it's
a
like
grinder.
it's like gloss on matte.
Could etch it.
Hey, it just makes the shit more stealthy.
We have like he takes a sander to it and it's like grinded into the side of the ship.
I can do
Yeah.
that.
Right behind the words Blackbird, you can
We
see in
want-
bigger letters "hurt anus"
get
out of the grinded paint. So what do you want to do?
Well, one, I don't want to be piloting. I don't want to be driving the hurt anus.
No, it's the Blackbird. You're good.
He's the captain of the
But we
Hurricanes.
need a tag that is recognized, or we're gonna get stopped every time we see another ship.
No, you're legit. You're Blackbird. You're good. It's registered to Absalom. The ship's legal.
It's
Ship's
not black on black, can't be seen.
Well, I mean, they would scan the ship's, computer to get the name of it. They're not gonna look out the window. So you're good.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, if everybody's ready to go, Geary will hop up into the captain's chair, and like look around at everyone at their stations.
Kate Joe's gonna look at him and say, "If you say make it so, I'm gonna smack you."
You haven't actually fired the ship up yet, so this will be the first time you started up.
Yeah. So that would be on our pilot to. Yeah. Does she turn on?
I think she stalled.
Check. Yeah, you stick in the stick. It's a little almost like a USB drive, and you put it in there, and that's kind of the key to the ship. And she stutters. A little bit of backfire. You think something might have fallen off, but she fires. She, after 2 or 3 tries, she fires up. She's ready to go, and voice comes across, and he says, "Welcome aboard the hurtling Oceanus. Who am I speaking with?"
You are speaking with Captain Geary Tesura and the crew, and he motions to everybody to introduce themselves. Yeah.
He goes, "Buffering. I do not have a Captain Geary Tesura in my record."
Sorry. That is my nickname. Siri, call me Geary.
I shall. But who are you?
Oh yeah, we never programmed him, did we?
He says, "I am Captain Smushy."
Smushy. Captain. Buffering. Yes, I have you here.
Yes.
I will call you Geary. Josh, you're like really faded out.
Hold on here. Wait. No. You're that. You're that particular commander that they've been looking for. Aren't you?
Said your name, dude.
Thing is just sitting there shaking his head like, what the fuck, man? We're dead. Like either the ship's gonna get us killed or the Skidamator's gonna get us
This is
killed.
Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm gonna die surrounded by the biggest
Dude,
idiots
no,
in the
you
universe.
tell me what direction we're going with this before we leave this port.
K2SO is just gonna look off around, not say a thing.
Yeah.
This is sounding a whole lot more than I thought we were going to sign up for.
Geary, he looks at them and he says, "Look, no one but those sitting on this bridge know who I am. I'm not going to keep any secrets. Well, some secrets, but I'm not going to keep my identity a secret from those that I'm trusting with my life. Now, as far as this mission is concerned, let's go make some money." And he punches in the coordinates and sends them to Aurora's workstation. Yeah.
It's up to you.
Does the AI still need to know this crew?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Okay.
my idea, but that
You said
happened.
introduce yourselves. I'm assuming you all said your names. You're on the crew manifest, so he's probably good with it.
Yeah, KSO operative work.
Is everyone else really cool with this? I'm trusting you with my lives, and that's a big enough answer?
Iara telepathically speaks to you. Just let them do what they're gonna do, and we'll make our plans. They're not gonna be a problem in the end. Let them be
The big-
distracted. He's a good distraction.
Yeah,
The
it's
big
one, it's
lizard
one
fish.
jump to Nokoma's colony, and then it's over. Then you could part ways.
Yeah, yeah. His idea is like he's not quite using that as an excuse. He's just telling you like, yo, that's my name. Like I'm not gonna keep my name from you. That's not an excuse. Like yeah, I'm not gonna. If you're wanting to know more about like he can pretty much give you all the same details that he gave K2SO about look like I'm not. I know something that I shouldn't, and I can't tell you what that is, but we got to go. Yeah. It's essentially it's inconsequential to the adventure. It's just my character's backstory.
Yes.
Yeah, but if
Well,
I don't trust you, I'm
mostly
not going to take you anywhere. I
Bro,
appreciate you leveling a bit more. Keep doing that.
Aurora leaves the ship. Everyone leaves without her.
Good luck flying it.
wait, I can make a piloting check. Hold on. Let's see. 10.
No, I'll fly it.
Um,
All right.
the lizard goat
No, I'm
gets
kidding.
the pilot seat.
Everybody's getting a 10.
It's slightly better.
Everybody's rolling 10s.
I'm rolling horrible today.
Oh,
So he does.
Mission's
Anyway, Kiri levels with you, and he says, I know something I should know, and it shouldn't affect anything that we're doing here. I need to get off in Nokoma's colony. We can part ways when we get there. What do you do?
I'm trying to escape to a new life, and that should not affect you guys.
It affects me.
All right.
You have the
At least-
coordinates.
Let's go.
All right.
Into the breach, meat bags.
All right, you guys, you pilot the ship. You launch straight up, right out of the impound lot, fly towards the exit of Absalom Station. It comes across the radio. You request clearance to leave. They approve. After scanning the ship, you fly through the airlock and into space. And as Absalom Station sinks away in the background, you're preparing to jump into the drift for the first time. And you do so. And just like Star Wars or Star Trek, when they work, that's what happens. But when you go into the drift, you go into almost an alternate dimension, because that's what the drift is. It's a space outside of the realm you live in that allows for fast-paced travel. And you guys launch into the drift. What do? This is you're flying a spaceship through the drift for the first time. I think that's fantastic for Starfinder.
So how long is it going to take us to get to the planet we're going to?
Not long.
Not long.
Yeah, maybe a day.
Okay.
I'd have to look in the book to find out exactly where and how long it takes, because I know there's mechanics for that. I'm going to say maybe a day for now.
So I'm just going to stay on the gunner seat until it's time to either eat or go to bed or,
In your position, ready to go.
Yep.
All right.
Maybe play some cornhole.
Yeah, you got cornhole on there, sure.
Yeah. K2SO is gonna, check his gear, check his equipment, his thing. He's also doing the gunner's position because I'm the second gunner, right? Remember right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So he'll also just kind of get his stuff, sit in the gunner spot, and just kind of sit and wait and zone out.
So
And
are the
just-
gunner spots close to each other?
Yeah, are they?
As you wanted to be.
Okay. Josh, does your character have computer skills?
Yes, I have a +7 in the computer.
Okay. That's going to be a conversation once we finish in a minute.
So you guys are rocketing through the drift, manning your stations as required.
Yeah.
Everything is going smooth.
I got a thing.
You got to think.
I got a thing. So, Geary is like sitting in the captain's chair, fiddling with the computer on the arm, as I imagine there is one. And he's just punching buttons and looking at different things, and he comes across the settings for the ship computer, and sees voice function. So where he highlights it, and he says, "Guys, there's other voices here for the computer," and he starts to scroll through them, and he's like, "There's one called Russian. What's this?" And he stops on it. Computer, give me an example of this voice.
Yes, Captain. What can I do for you?
Oh, no, not at all. And he's gonna scroll through some more.
Russian. It's not even an Earth.
It sounded German.
I was gonna say, would my guy understand any of this with the Android bid?
Wouldn't he understand?
I imagine he would.
Is there one that's Boston?
He finds Bronx.
By
The Bronx. You know tongues, bro. I can't do that Boston accent.
Eventually he cringes a little bit. There's a skittermander on here.
Jesus Christ.
Ship.
I don't know how you Jesus. Dude, how do you do that?
File corrupted.
File correct. I can't even line up how you talk like that. That's insane. He's like, yes, Captain. What can I do for you?
Hey, and a lemon.
He looks around at everybody else and he's like, it must be malfunctioning.
If you would like to keep this setting, please let me know.
It's not how we sound. It's not right.
I think
says,
that's pretty.
Look, there's one. When I was in college, on Castrovel, I had a roommate who, when I started, his voice was so grating and disturbing. I hated him, but now he's one of my closest friends, and honestly, I find the sound of his accent comforting, and it brings me a lot of joy. How do you guys feel about Yosoki? And he turns all the way to Yosoki.
Captain, I'm here for you if you need anything from me.
I like this one.
Yeah, one fairy festival, so I can do another. I love it.
So as you're fucking around with the computer, he comes back online and he says, Captain, there's a communication coming through for you right now.
On screen.
And as the screen fires up, you see a Yosoki. As luck would have it, he's completely black. He has one red eye, and the other eye is covered by an eye patch with a pewter skull and crossbones. Beneath the eye patch, you can see 3 scratches coming across, like something clawed his eye out. And he says, Chuba, you have made some very powerful enemies in very high places. I have been looking for you.
It's Jabba. It's Jaja the Hutt.
Who, pray tell, are you looking for? Chuba.
You, Giri Tusora.
You must be mistaken. This ship is registered to Smushy.
Maybe, but that wound in your arm tells me otherwise.
Yeah, he looks down at his arm. And he says, so what would you want with this Giri? And he starts to like touch some buttons here on the control panel as he's talking.
It says, well, one of 2 things. There's a bounty on your head.
A bounty.
quite.
Well, friend, you see, hunting a man like me is a very dangerous occupation. I suppose you should try to decide for yourself what's more valuable, a bounty or the air in your lungs. And he punches another button on the control panel, and he says, "We have a saying in my religion to show that we are honest and true in our thoughts." And he sticks some hands into his jacket pocket. He says, "I've got one hand in my pocket, and the other one is ready to blast you into the void. Tell me what you'll do."
Well, first I'm gonna call your bluff because I'm nowhere near you. However, and he's looking around at the camera, who else is on the bridge with you?
Who is all on the bridge with me?
I don't know if this has interested anybody else, and maybe they'd come up there.
I'd just be listening over the mic if it went across to everything.
Yeah,
I
do
mean,
that.
if we're hearing it through the thing, I want to see who this is. That way, I
I'd
have a
be
picture
there,
of
I'm
the person I
flying.
need to kill.
If you're interested, the computer can show you a smaller screen where you are to see who it's on the
Okay.
screen.
Cool.
And he says, "How much do you trust the people you're with? Because that bounty on your head is 30,000 credits. And if anybody on your ship kills you now, we split it."
You're gonna hear K2SO just laughing in the background.
Fang gets up and draws his Dashko.
Are you gonna kill him? You're gonna kill him?
No, if somebody goes to attempt on Gary's
Okay.
life, they're gonna get chopped in half.
I'm gonna walk up on the bridge, laughing still. I'll start pointing at Geary, and I'm trying to keep my breath. Just
Fun fact, K2,
Mhm.
you know this person,
I won't let on that I know the guy.
but you also know
Mhm.
you do not want to fuck with him because he's very serious about what he does.
Okay.
So
How
you
do
can
we
walk
know
up there
this
and
person?
you can laugh if you want.
Could
You
we-
don't
Well,
know.
I was gonna laugh, point at Geary, and be like, "Boy, you're cheap. You're worth nothing." And I'll just go walk back to the corner and just kind of sit there.
Yeah, K2 is a merc, so he knows of this person. He doesn't know him personally, but you know of his description, and you know who this is. And he says, "Okay, so it seems like nobody's gonna take me up on my offer."
Fang steps into like the view and just stands behind Gary, like intimidating.
Geary was like standing there, very stone-faced, looking at the projection. But like when he realizes no one's gonna take his offer, you hear like the cinematic ba-boom, 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 ba-boom.
Yeah, they just passed on you for 15,000 credits. He says, "Okay, well, listen, I see you already got one of the messages I sent you in the shoulder. That was on purpose. But I could give you another offer. Instead of coming after you, maybe you do something for me. I want to know what it is that you know."
You see, here I thought you were intelligent. If you want to know what I know, that may be the easiest way for me to kill you of all.
I'll tell you this.
No.
If you want to make enemies with the Atlantic Star Empire, and you're shocked that he said that.
Yeah, Geary makes the kind of shit face, and like he looks around to see if it like if that rings a bell with anybody in the crew, like strikes a nerve.
I'm assuring
It
I
does
know of it.
It does with me, right, Devin?
Yeah, you know.
Okay.
All of you have heard of the Atlantic Star Empire to some degree, but that degree is a little bit different for everybody. As a Marine, you know that this is not something that you want to be involved with. Like not you personally, but like people in general should not be wanting to be involved with the Atlantic Star Empire.
Yeah,
Okay.
Geary
So-
doesn't want anybody to know like who was after him because he didn't he didn't know if
And-
any of his fellow crew members were affiliated.
Yeah. Casey knows that they're involved. K2 has heard of them. The ladies over here, as a pilot and a mechanic, maybe have heard of them, but not quite to the extent that Fang would have. So we can dive into the history and the role play next week. But you're kind of shocked that he said this to begin with. And he says, "You don't want to make an enemy out of me, so I'll sweeten the deal. You tell me what you know, and I'll throw in another favor for you."
I'm listening.
How do you think your information got deleted from Absalom Station, Juba? I have friends in very high places. Tell me what you know, and I will take care of you instead of come for your head.
Well, it's a very intriguing offer.
And you don't have to make a decision right now.
Oh, don't worry, I won't.
I
You
will
see-
contact you again soon.
Ah, good.
Good. Great.
Good. I was gonna get off the phone with you. Yeah, like you hang up on me. Yeah,
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah. Gary says, yes. I'll be in touch. In the meantime, you might still want to keep some protection out there. Wouldn't do you any good for this knowledge to end up spilled on the floor?
If it does, I will find another way to find what I'm looking for. And the little window blinks out.
All right.
So now you have to make a decision.
Gary turns around to everybody and he chuckles. He's like, "So now you know the breadth of my enemies, the Aslantes Star Empire." Rather
K2, I was just going to interrupt him and go, and that's the shit I was talking about. And then he's just going to cross his arms, shake his head, look over his Fang and be like, "I'm still good. I'll fill you in later," as I'm rubbing my forehead.
And let me pause you right there because next week you'll have to dive into that. And we're going to call it right here for the night. And I'm going to end this recording right now. So I'll see you next week.
All right.
See ya.
Sweet.